I'm standing here in our Lynchburg showroom on Timberlake Road, which we opened in 1996. When I first started Aqua Pros back in 1984, I never dreamed we'd grow to the size that we are today, probably Virginia's largest pool spa retailer. I actually started my career in the swimming pool industry back in 1982, I think it was. I'd actually been fired from a prior job, and so for summertime work I started building swimming pools. And I worked for these guys for a couple of years during the summers, and then I did other things in the winter. And then one day, 1984, it occurred to me that the guys I was working for were doing their best to put themselves out of business. And the crazy thing was, I was trying to explain to them one day, and I'll admit I was a little bit vehement in my explanation, and they didn't really appreciate it as much as I thought they should. And so when I told them that I felt like quitting, they suggested that I should, so I quit. Make a long story short, that next Monday in June in 1984, I started Aqua Pros. A lot of times people ask me, where did we get the name Aqua Pros? Is it a franchise? No, I can still remember I was driving down 221 in Good, Virginia one day, and the name just kind of popped into my head, and it seemed like a good name. And so maybe for what we do today at Aqua Pros, it's a little bit misleading because we do so many other things than just swimming pools and hot tubs. But when I started back in 1984 as a pool service guy with aspirations to build swimming pools, Aqua Pros seemed like a great name. So anyway, by the way, those guys did go out of business. They went out of business, I believe, in November of that year in 1984. So I did service work and went door to door, did a lot of selling chemicals and things like that throughout that summer of 1984. And then the following year in 1985, the strangest thing happened. A guy was walking through a pasture on a farm that I was renting. And he said, "So what are you going to do, Bob?" And we talked a little bit, and I said, "Well, I think I'm going to build some pools." He said, "I know a lady that wants a pool." And I was like, "Really?" So anyway, I wound up selling that pool, and then we did 2 more pools that summer in 1985. And I really owe a lot to that guy. His name was Brad Hare. He was a real estate agent, and I went to high school with his son. Anyway, the next year we built like 17 pools, as I recall. And I was thinking, we really need to have a retail store to support our clients. People who have put faith and trust in us in our swimming pools that we built. So in the spring of 1986, my wife and I, we just had been married for a short time, we opened our very first store in Bedford, Virginia on 122 just south of town, and we still have that store today. And so we started out with the concept that, perhaps if we wanted to sell more swimming pools, we needed to have a retail store. And that was probably not the best way to think about it, but it was the best way I knew at the time to think about it. So anyway, we opened that store. And then a little while later, after we opened that store, a representative from BioGuard Pool and Spa Chemicals stopped in one day. And from that day on, we became BioGuard Pool Chemical dealers. And I never will forget that day. We ordered several $1,000s worth of BioGuard chemicals, and I was totally terrified at doing that because I couldn't imagine selling that much stuff and paying it all off. Although, to be truthful, it was a really, thimble-sized order looking back on it. Nevertheless, we went ahead and became BioGuard Pool and Spa Chemical retailers, and my wife, Mary, started running that store and did great customer service, and she grew that store. So years passed, and our business had grown, and I could be in my Bedford store, and people from Lynchburg would be coming to us saying they liked our customer service, and so it occurred to me, wouldn't it be neat if we had a store in Lynchburg? So anyway, in 1995, I believe it was, or 96, we opened this Lynchburg store here on Timberlake Road. And the store was a hit from day one. And anyway, later on that summer, a guy stopped in one day and he wanted to rent some space in this store and sell stoves, wood stoves. And he had so much business, it just blew me away. And later on, he actually was so busy he couldn't handle it all, and asked if we'd let him out of his rental agreement with us, and I said, sure, why not? So at that point, we got into the hearth business, selling wood stoves and gas logs and gas fireplaces and so on. So today, here at Aqua Pros, we've grown from a simple pool and spa business and the BioGuard chemicals to where now we carry the finest in wood, gas, pellet stoves. We sell fire logs or gas logs, as people commonly call them, gas fireplaces. We also have a great service team that services these products for folks who have them in their homes. And it really works quite well because I've got a great team of salespeople who work for us here at Aqua Pros, and naturally they need a year-round income. So today we have these products and we have a great year-round in business. And instead of being a pool and spa business, we now brand ourselves as Aqua Pros, a lifestyle improvement store, because not only do we have things for the outside, we have things for the inside. And as time went on, you know, we expanded into other products. For instance, over here, you'll see that we have grills. We carry Weber gas grills, and also everybody knows about the little Weber charcoal grill sitting over there. But we're also a dealer for Big Green Egg grills. In fact, we're Central Virginia's only platinum Big Green Egg dealer. And this right here is quite an eye catcher. This is what Big Green Eggs calls their double extra large grill. It's quite large, as you can see. And we actually have a few of our restaurants here locally that are culinary partners with Big Green Egg, and we've helped to make that happen for them. And it introduces more and more people to Big Green Egg's products, and really people just love the flavor of food cooked on a Big Green Egg. I also always say, if anything tastes good, it tastes even better when it's cooked on a Big Green Egg. Coming back over here, we might talk a little bit about hot tubs. When I first started selling hot tubs back in 1985, that was actually before we had our first store. My wife and I would take hot tubs around to different places and sit out all day with a trailer and have hot tubs and show them to people. And a lot of times people actually would make fun of us, you know. But back in those days, those hot tubs might have 4, 6, or even 8 jets. And of course, today's hot tubs have a multitude of jets, so many different options. As you can see, Patrick's running the camera there. You can see all the different jets in these hot tubs, and most everybody's familiar with them. And we started out in the hot tub business, as I said, in 1985, and in 1989 we partnered with Marquee Spas, and we've been a Marquee Spa dealer ever since. From everything I know, I think that Marquee is the greatest hot tub made in the world, and they're American made out of Independence, Oregon. They're employee-owned company. I just can't say enough good things about Marquee. We really have a great long-standing relationship with them. We talked about, I'm going to walk back through here in our store, and we talked about our entry and our business in the hearth business. And back here you'll see we've got some of the woods. These are wood stoves here. These are made by a company called Hearthstone. Hearthstone is a manufacturer of cast iron stoves that actually has soapstone. As you can see, they're beautiful stoves, we think. And then of course over here we've got some Vermont casting stoves. We don't quite have as many of them on the floor today, as you'll see, but here's a cast iron stove for Vermont casting. Maybe Patrick could come around the front of it and catch a different view of that. But Vermont casting stoves, yeah, that's a beautiful stove. It's got an enamel finish on it, but more importantly, it also is cast iron. And for the most efficiency and the best bang for your buck, so to speak, you can't beat a cast iron stove. Here's another one. This stove here actually is a top loader. And I still haven't figured that one out, how you put wood in the top and you keep from getting smoke coming out and filling up the room. But then I'm probably not the most knowledgeable person about our hearth products here. Patrick, Sean, and Chris, and the rest of the guys that work in our other stores can tell you a lot more about these products than I can. And over here, we've got some gas stoves. There's a pellet stove sitting back there. And then, as we move forward here, these are some of our gas logs that we have on display. And right here in this store, we've got 4 burning displays. Of course, they're not burning right now, but these are vent-free gas logs, and they're the most common gas appliance that we offer here at Aqua Pros. These are great for people who want to take the chill off in the morning or want to have some ambiance. They really do put out quite a bit of heat. This here in the corner is my personal favorite. This is this is made by a company called Kingsman, and this line is the Marquee line. It is a direct vent fireplace. I have one of these in my home. I love it. My wife loves it. They're great because you can more control the amount of heat that it puts out, and plus this glass facing here, that's actually a sealed combustion chamber back there, and those logs burn inside that chamber so they don't put out any gases or any exhaust into your home, and they draw all the air for the fire from outside. You don't see the exhaust or the air intake, but anyway, that's a sealed combustion chamber, and that makes for a very, very clean burn and a great environment in your home. Walking over here, as you can see, we've got a tremendous number of hot tubs on display. I'm going to show you our Yeti products. We got into the Yeti business a couple years ago, and that's just been a great business for us. People just love the Yeti products. There's a lot of other products out there that look like Yeti, that have tried to wannabe companies, so to speak, but none of them really matches the quality, the integrity, and the long-term, job that Yeti does. They do a great job of keeping hot things hot and cold things cold, and I'm still trying to figure that one out, how they do that. And the Yeti coolers over here, they're so popular with all of our customers. I never would have purchased myself a Yeti cooler to save money on ice, because yeah, they are pretty expensive. But when it comes to keeping things cold, for instance, one of my hobbies is racing. So when we go to a racetrack, a lot of times it's really hot, and we'll take food in our Yeti coolers, and of course drinks as well. And they will literally keep things cold, your ice, from melting for days, even on the hottest summer days possible. And believe me, it gets hot at a racetrack. So we love our Yeti stuff. So anyway, I just want to take some time today to share a little bit about Aqua Pros with you, how we got started. We opened this store, as I said, in '96. We opened the Madison Heights store, I believe, in '97. And then we opened our Salem store in 2014. And I never quit thinking about growing Aqua Pros, but everybody needs to understand one thing. We couldn't do it if it weren't for great people. I've got some fabulous people here working at Aqua Pros, all of our locations, and they've spent a lot of years. We've educated them. They work very hard day in, day out. I mentioned my service department, my guys in retail, and our accounting folks. We just have a great support team at Aqua Pros, and we've got wonderful customers. And I think my customers appreciate the fact that my guys work so hard for them. And I've always said I've never been an easy person to please, and if my customers if my guys can please our customers and can please me, then anyone should be satisfied. So thanks a lot. Appreciate your time.